coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Hey there, Veteran Nation fans. I am talking to you today because I have teamed up with a company that's dedicated to supporting veterans. What they do is they help you gather all the medical evidence that you're going to need to submit a VA disability claim. Now, it's all that is designed to help you get the benefits that you have earned. Right now, more than 17 million veterans don't have their full benefits. And if that sounds something familiar either for yourself or a family member, now is the time to act. With this company, what they offer is free consultations with the medical team so they can figure out how they can best help you. And what they provide is board-certified doctors with experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical documentation for both physical and mental conditions, and the services that they provide include nexus letters, telehealth evaluations, DBQs, TDIU, aid and attendance, and so much more. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link that's in the description of this video and sign up for a free consultation. Make sure you do me a favor, share this, and also tag a veteran. Let's help more people get every single thing that they have earned.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're all having just a wonderful morning today. It's time to wake up. It's another early show, earlier than what I normally do. I will be ending early because I'm in a class this week, and I'm learning good stuff. It's about AI. I'm learning a lot of good stuff. Before anyone says anything, yes, I know it is not the 12th. I did update the description and the thumbnail, and the title. But for some reason, it's not working well for me. I don't know why, but I've done what I can to fix it, and it didn't take. So that's what happens sometimes. I do want to talk about starting off some of the internet drama. This all started with TheQuartering. and I've talked about the quartering, and it's spilled over into someone else who I'm very familiar with, who I will just say I am not a fan of, and I know a lot of people uh, are a fan of this individual, and it's a comedian and a streamer. Her name is Chrissy Mayr. So she is, uh, she's friends with people that the quartering is friends with, and she has jumped into this whole thing with the quartering. Look, for those of you who don't know, Jeremy Hambley, who is the quartering. Hey, Heroes Chris. Hey, Spade Unleash. Joan Walton. Good morning to all of you guys. Good morning. Good to see you. Uh, he's been false flagging other people. Now, the problem is, he's one of these big free speech guys. Chrissy is too. Uh, but I've known for years that Chrissy was just a snake. With the quartering, we're just now learning, like, I've seen his content. I'm not a big fan of his content. I see what he does. I'm like, okay, I respect it. I respect it, but I'm not like, I don't watch a lot of his videos. I've seen his videos. I know there's people who love him. Good on you if you love him. It's not really my type of thing. Um, and yeah, so I've talked about, he had a very public meltdown about his wife like over a year ago. He said some very nasty things about his wife. I don't think that's smart as a husband. Even though me and my ex-wife, I had a very contentious divorce, for a long time, I didn't talk about her on this show. Not until after her and her boyfriend had attacked me and put a false TRO on me. I really didn't talk that much. I didn't go into details. I might have said, yeah, I've had a rough divorce, but yeah, I didn't really talk, and I still haven't talked about too many details. I've talked about some of the abuse that I endured, but at no point will you find where I put her name and that type of stuff. But he's still married to this woman. And yeah, I don't think it's smart to bash, and I actually had a very good mentor in the Marine Corps. She was actually the Marine Corps Athlete of the Year one year. And she was, she knew I was getting married, and she said, "Don't be like so many of these Marines who bash their spouse, uh, because it's just not a good thing." And you know what? She was 100% right, and I really always tried to never bash my spouse while I was married, and some of that was to my detriment. But I I thought that was a very good principle, and I like taking things from a principled standpoint. So I never tried to do it. But the quartering has. People started calling him out. They started saying that his wife has been showing up on other guys' podcasts, and they were starting to say that she's dipping out of the marriage, and he's allowing it because he's been so negative on her. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But he then started false flagging people saying this stuff. Well, you you're gonna be attacked. Look how many people have said that I'm sleeping with Georgie and all this stuff. And when it first started happening, me and Georgie had a discussion. I was like, "Look, we know it's bullshit. Your spouse knows it's bullshit. Um, so I told her, I said, if you're, as long as you're cool with it, I'm gonna lean into it. I'm gonna lean into it because take away its power, and that's what I did. And you still have today people saying, "Oh, those two are banging." No, like, it's physically impossible. We have a very good friendship, and I'm very happy about our friendship. Hey, bestie, no, I'm just now seeing you in here. Um, I'm in a class, so I know you'll text me things, but I can't text in class. That's the problem. And it's going to be like that until Thursday. I'm in the class until Thursday, but it's a very good class, and it's one that I can teach you guys something. That's another thing I'm liking about it. It's things that are very relevant to the show, even though it's relevant to my company, my job, like all that stuff. But Yeah, so back onto the quartering, he did this stuff. Well, then Chrissy Mayr started bringing on Melanie Mack, who's a very good friend of the quartering, and just was letting people in super chats shit on her. And now, and I knew this was going to get big. And this is where, people are like, I don't have to respond to something someone else did. If you're part of a group, you're part of a group, especially if you've been pushing that you're a free speech platform. You've been on other people's shows, and you've said that you're this big free speech advocate, right? Then yeah, you're probably gonna have to address it. And I did see where Star Wars Girl addressed it very quickly and was like, "Look, I'm not a part of this. I don't like that. I'll say that. I don't like that. I don't like when people say, "Well, I'm not a part of this." And here's the thing: you be like, "Look, I don't agree with false flagging people." That's all you have to say, and people will be like, "Okay, good." Um, you might get some people who are like, "Are you going to go on a show of people who false flag?" And I'd be like, that's not that may or may not be a thing that I go on about, but I don't know." And that's fair. That's a very fair response. But you get a lot of these people, I don't I don't respond because of something someone else does. You kind of do. If you've promoted somebody or been on their show, then yes. You like if Georgie did something, and I'm not saying she has. If Georgie did something I didn't agree with, there are times where I might have to address it. There have been things that her and I have done that we don't agree with each other on, and we do address it privately. And you know, very fair. But this is kind of linked to that whole I don't control my mods. Yeah, you do. It's your platform. You do. So this is Nerdrotic, and this is him responding to the Chrissy Mayr part of the saga. And we'll watch this together.
Feel bad for Chrissy. I do. She stepped into a bad situation, and
She did. This was all an unforced error on Chrissy's part. And the thing is, Chrissy's been doing this. Her husband, Frank, has been false flagging people for years. And me and a couple others have been calling it out. I have zero respect for Chrissy Mayr. Zero respect. When I found out her husband was false flagging people who were just criticizing, like her comedy and all this stuff. And here's the other thing. Chrissy Mayr was at January 6th, but has never talked about being brought in by the FBI, has never talked about being, had any of her stuff put in question. Now, I will tell you guys this. If you guys, some of you guys might know Brandon Straka. Brandon Straka, I was in meetings back during 2000. I was in meetings with Brandon Straka. I heard him speak. I spoke to him. I wouldn't say like we're friends or anything, but we have had a professional relationship, okay? And we both did things, it covered events, went to things with a woman who was a January 6th informant. Like, she was this Trump person, and she was very much a lightning rod, was always trying to like get people to do stuff. Well, she was going to be charged for her role at January 6th. I kept telling, like people, I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. And even if I did go there, I wouldn't be going into the Capitol. I could see that for what it was. That's a freaking trap. But Brandon got put in jail. He didn't even go inside the Capitol. So people who try to defend Chrissy and say, well, she didn't go inside the Capitol. Oh, there were people who were people broadcasting and stuff. They were put in jail. But Chrissy Mayr wasn't. Why do you think that is? Huh? Why do you think she wasn't? Why do you think she wasn't even questioned? She was an informant. And, she's still trying to play this, oh, I'm this big MAGA person. She's not. She is not. She's doing it for clout. She's a fake MAGA person. And I'm glad people are starting to figure this out, because I've been saying it for years.
let's just keep it real. It got worse last.
Yeah, Nerdrotic, you fell into Chrissy Bayr's bullshit. There's other people too. Nick Rakita. You realize Nick Rakita was introduced to cocaine, or like was brought back in. I don't know if he's ever dabbled in cocaine before then, but she and Gino Bisconti got him addicted to cocaine, and that caused him to spiral. And all these comedians who are just fake MAGA and degenerates.
Let's just keep it real. It got worse last night. It got a lot worse. It could have been handled a lot better. What I said Friday, I stand by, and that's a lot of what I said to Chrissy in our phone call. I'm not going to give you all the details. And I'm not going to pile on Chrissy.
Here's one thing he did, though. He addressed it with her, and now he's addressing it publicly. This is all and the thing is, he doesn't have to give the details. Very good on Nerdrotic. I'm not a Nerdrotic guy, but he is doing a great job with this. And yeah, he made friends with someone who is very fake, and he's now addressing it.
But it was a disaster. It was a disaster of epic proportions. So, and it's not one that's going to end. I don't know if she's doing another stream tonight.
Chrissy's getting called out by Brittany Venti, and I'm not a Brittany Venti fan, but I think good on Brittany for calling out Chrissy for all this bullshit. Chrissy's straight out there lying.
To make up for the super chats that weren't read, and again, I don't like drama. I don't like it coming my door.
Bullshit. You're a YouTuber. Here's the thing. Drama gets you views. That's why I never turn it away. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make money off it.
I don't like distractions at all, particularly to what I'm doing on my channel, and I don't want my co-host dragged into this. And we are, and it has to be acknowledged. But one thing I tried to do is mitigate it, because ultimately, it ain't my problem. It's not Jeremy's problem. It's not Ryan's problem. But I don't know what the path forward is for Chrissy. I haven't talked to Chrissy yet. I probably will. We'll figure it out. But as far as
dude, you got to really get distance from her.
Really important. And we've seen it time and time again. You have to be honest with the audience.
Yeah.
And if the audience doesn't feel like, and I am part of that audience, right? My fellow members of the audience. If the audience doesn't feel like they're getting the truth, they will bail.
They will.
And they will. There's one thing, if it's petty drama, I saw that talked about a lot. This is about false flagging, and it's not about who you had on as a guest, or that particular guest. And ultimately, authenticity is all we have. It doesn't matter what I want to hear, right? It matters what the audience wants to hear.
True.
And if you don't feel like you need to apologize, then don't. But it's not anything I'm asking for sure. But it might be owed to other people.
I never ask for apologies. I think they're cheap. I think they're stupid. I don't think they actually solve anything. Most times they're ingenuine.
Because I think in Chrissy's closer friend circle, it looks like they're feeling pretty lied to.
Well, yeah. Chrissy, I've seen her sell people down the river. And the thing is, people are starting to wake up to Chrissy Mayr. She is a piece of shit. And I'll show you guys this. This is, people are rediscovering this. I was already, me and Misery Loves Clips, and I'm trying to think who else. Dominic Sin and Joe Exotic, all on Twitter. We've been pointing out for years what a piece of shit that. I'm trying to think who else. What a piece of shit Chrissy Mayr is. This is her asking people to false flag Gummy Mayr. Gummy Mayr was an account that the thing was just her mouth because she's got some thick gums, and was just making jokes. A comedian upset at somebody making jokes and roasting, and she was having people false flag, just like TheQuartering was doing. If you can't take criticism, you shouldn't be on YouTube. Now, it's one thing when people take things off of YouTube. That's totally different. But if they're just posting your clips and, criticizing them, you got to let people do that. And I don't, Gummy Mayr wasn't even doing that. Was just making fun. And like we all were calling her January 6th informant. And her husband, Frank, was reporting people. And they were trying to get other people to report people. Especially, I hate it when YouTube content creators are talking false flags because they know how hard it is to build an audience, and you're attacking people and you're attacking their audience when you false flag. So I'm glad I talked about. I will continue to talk about what a piece of shit Gino Bisconti and Chrissy Mayr are. They are. Chrissy. She converted to Catholicism, and she's now trying to hide behind that. And yeah, fuck, like just stop. You look pathetic. Oh shit, I accidentally closed something that I didn't want to close, but it's okay. I've got plenty of stories here, guys. But I did want to talk about that one. I do want to talk about this. Damn it, where'd you go? So I told you guys there was another of yesterday's story, that there was another view. I found that view. So I'm just going to show it to you. It doesn't really offer a whole lot, but I did want to show you guys the other view of this is the Arkansas steakhouse fight. So just these women, like, okay, you might have a problem, but that doesn't mean you cause this huge big scene. And that's what they're doing. Yeah, just full on escalation. So I wanted to show you guys that because we talked about that story. So that one's an easy one. Hey, Stacy, good to see you. Heroes Chris, good to see you. Ed Scout, good to see you. I'm up early today because of I'm in training. I've got a class. Good morning, AVA. Good to see you. What's the next story I want to do? Oh, this one I'll show. This one's not the greatest one. I love the ending to this.
So I'm gonna quit right now. It's hard for me because I love this job and I worked here for a year and I actually really like it, but the managers, the new ones, are being really mean to me. And I still have to mop and sweep, so I'm not gonna just quit and leave it for them to clean because I feel bad. So I'm gonna hop out the window when I'm done, and I'm gonna be like, I quit, and I'm gonna hop out the window. But first,
good on her that she's gonna finish her job. I respect that. And I think she really does love this job. But yeah, the manager told her she was useless. Look, you're not going to get great managers doing these type of jobs, but that's never okay. And if you're an owner and you find out your manager is telling workers that they're useless, you need to get rid of that manager. You can't have people like that. You just can't.
I'm gonna sweep and do my job and then leave because I don't want to leave them with all the work, you know. I have a new job at Export Fitness anyway, so I was gonna quit anyway. So they're being mean right now, so that's my fucking chance to take, you know. So he just told me that the manager said I'm a lost cause.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I'm so nervous. Watching for cars. Hey, John. quit.
Maria, stop. Are you fucking serious?
I'm not a lost cause, and I quit. Goodbye.
That's a really funny way to quit. That's why I wanted to show that. Really, like going out the window. But yeah, you can't tell people they're a lost cause. You can't do that. If someone's, and I've thought about doing this, how to do a counseling, like a video on. I've never fired anybody who didn't know it was coming. The military teaches us how to do counselings. So every person that I've ever fired knew it was coming because I had already sat down with them and I was like, look, here's what you do well. Here's what you don't. Here's what you need to improve on. Here's what I want to see going forward. And I want you to succeed. If there's anything I can do to make you succeed, please let me know. I want, that. And you should always put people. You should always put people where they're going to be their best. That's the other thing I'll tell you. Some people will put people where they will intentionally fail. And I never like accepting failure as a part of doing business. I always hated that when people would do it, because people do it in the military all the time. Hey, I don't like this guy. I'm going to put him here, and when he fails, I'm going to then work to get him out. No, that a failure hurts the mission. And that's a bad leader doing that. I've had people that, weren't towing a line in one area. I'm like, hey, I know you can do this. I'm going to put you here. Even when people were very unhappy about me doing it, I'm like, look, I get it. But I have to manage personnel at the end of the day. Yeah, you that's a bad manager if they're saying that. And especially if they're saying it to other people. Like, have a conversation with your employee. Say it to their face. That's why I say it's a business decision. Be active aggressive. Look, you're not doing a good job right now in these areas, so I want to see this. And then you let people, you set high standards and you let them succeed or fail on those standards. This one I want to talk about because I get people all the time, especially women, who want me to go hiking. Skipper doesn't hike. I always say the Marine Corps ruined walking in nature for me, because it did. But also, there's this here. So this is a couple hiking.
I took the wrong way. Oh my goodness.
Did you see my other two guys?
What?
What?
Did you see my other two guys?
Did we see your other two guys? No.
You're supposed to go that way.
No, we're not supposed to go that way.
No.
Want to meet them?
No, we don't want to meet
No,
him.
I don't want to meet him.
How about not?
Why are they engaging with this person? I would just be like, whatever, and just keep walking. But you also won't catch me hiking in the woods, too. Too many things can go wrong. You also won't see me operating on a nuclear reactor. Too many things can go wrong.
I don't know.
If you go the other way, you don't gotta go over the tree.
I don't know. It sounds like she's gargling water.
Blah, blah.
Something over the tree. Oh my goodness.
What?
I thought that was somebody else.
Just keep walking.
She's trying to speak to our channel right now.
YouTubers, should I wear my orange outfit with this? Or the blue?
Oh my
Are you
God.
kidding me right now? She's asking people for what? Oh, why am I? Help me! Oh my goodness! Can't get over that. No.
I will say this. This woman is crazy. Crazy people do understand an ass whooping. So if you start acting like you're going to whoop her ass, she will disengage. Guaranteed.
She said, "Here I come." She said, "What?" Oh my God, I don't. My pants are wet.
Oh my God. Well, you been playing in the water again?
No, that's free.
Or did you pee your pants?
It's free.
Man, she switched her voice.
Really fast.
Yeah.
I get your phone.
Oh my God. She loves doing that.
So yeah, yet another reason why you will not find me hiking. Don't you like nature? No. Are you? Oh my God, the air is just so great outside. It's just, I love being in nature. Shut up. Shut up. Let's see. I am in this class, and I do want to talk about this. So I had some homework from last night, from my class, and one was to ask AI some questions. And holy shit, AI was it was what do I say? What's the term? Not roasting me, but like I was asking. Here's the question that we were told to ask AI two questions. Based on what you know about me, what is an uncomfortable truth that I don't know about myself? And let's read AI's response to me. I don't actually know enough about you to identify a hidden personal truth with confidence. What I can do is point out a pattern that might be relevant based on the small amount I've seen. You seem to draw to humor that mixes toughness, absurdity, and discomfort. Parody shirts, military convoy briefs, veteran travel content. That usually comes from people who are good at operating in environments where emotions are filtered through jokes, irony, or mission focus. An uncomfortable possibility is this: you may be better at performing resilience than actually resting. Uh, People who are highly functional in structured or high pressure environments often become so identified with keeping it moving that they stop noticing when exhaustion, frustration, or isolation become their normal baseline. Very true. Humor becomes a pressure valve, but not necessarily a solution, right? You can let off steam, but that doesn't turn down the pressure. It does temporarily, but the pressure cooker is still cooking. And I hope so many PTSD people see this. People who are, I'm sorry. Another possibility: you may underestimate how much your identity is tied to competence and usefulness. When someone's value has been reinforced through reliability, leadership, service, or endurance, it can be hard to feel worthwhile when you're not producing, helping, or carrying weight. That can show up as difficulty slowing down without guilt, turning serious things into jokes quickly, feeling restless when life gets too quiet, or keeping conversations entertaining instead of vulnerable. That's something I've had a conversation with a good friend of mine. That when you grew up in a chaotic household, which this individual did, and then went into the military and now is out and has a very hard time relaxing. I'm like, because the quietness is not your normal. Your normal is the chaos, and you thrive in it. But when things are quiet, you feel, you get panicked because you think something's going to happen. Ed Scott says, you must be talking to me. Yeah, a lot of military people. This is very true. Very true. I'm not saying those are definitely true, but they're common patterns among people with military adjacent backgrounds or dark humor creative instincts. The flip side is that people like that are often more self-aware than they realize. Just not always willing to sit still long enough to hear themselves clearly. Very true. So analyzation. Yeah, ChatGPT is analyzing me. I can't sleep without playing noise. Oh yeah, very true. Need a sound machine, or for me, I turn on the mini split and I get. It's not a fan. Well, it is a fan, but it's my AC. But yeah, that, and I normally keep a TV on. I'm getting better at that though. And then the next one I said, based on what you know about me, what are my strengths and weaknesses? Now, if you guys do this with AI, whatever AI you use, it's probably going to come back very uncomfortable because AI is tracking you. It is following you. It is learning about you. Don't think it's not. Never, ever, ever put your personal data into AI. I'll just tell you guys that because it will be there. And if 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 you can get it, other people can get it. And this has happened to people. So based what you know about me, what are my strengths and weaknesses? From the limited context I have, these are the traits that stand out most strongly. Treat them as patterns, not diagnoses. Strengths: adaptable under pressure. Your military-related interests and tone suggest you're comfortable operating in structured, high-responsibility environments. People like that usually become dependable when things get chaotic rather than fragile. Guilty. Humor as social intelligence. Your parody concepts aren't random. They rely on remixing familiar cultural references with darker or uncomfortable twists. This takes timing, audience awareness, and creativity. A lot of people can be funny. Fewer can make it edgy humor land intentionally. Mission oriented. Starting something like Vet Trip suggests initiative and follow through. Most people talk about ideas. You appear drawn toward execution and identity-driven projects. Comfortable and uncomfortable subjects. A lot of people avoid illness, military culture, awkward social themes, or taboo humor. You don't seem afraid to touch subjects others avoid. No, I do not, because I know that it's good content for YouTube. First off, but I really don't in my personal life. I found a sleep video on YouTube that has distant battle sounds with gunfire and artillery. I know it sounds weird, but it helps me sleep. Yeah, it's a weird thing. That often correlates with emotion, or I'm sorry, comfortable with uncomfortable subjects. A lot of people avoid illness, military culture, awkward social themes, or taboo humor. You don't seem afraid to touch subjects that others avoid. That often correlates with emotional durability and a higher tolerance for difficult realities. Likely loyal and reliable. People shaped by service oriented environments don't place a high value on showing up, carrying their weight, and protecting their people. Even when they're cynical outwardly, they usually take commitment seriously. True, I'm very loyal. Weaknesses, blind spots, deflecting seriousness with humor. Guilty of this one. Dark humor is useful, but it can become armor. If every uncomfortable feeling gets converted into a joke, people may enjoy being around you without ever actually knowing you deeply. Possible over-identification with competence. You may feel most secure when you're useful, capable, or on. That can make rest feel unearned and vulnerability feel inefficient. Impatience with fragility. People who endure difficult environments sometimes lose patience for indecision, oversensitivity, or emotional spiraling in others. That can make you seem harsher than you intend. Definitely me with indecision. A risk of emotional compartmentalization. Being able to switch modes is a strength operationally, but over time it can create distance between what you experience and what you process. You handle things instead of examining them. I've had to learn that. You may hide ambition behind irony. Creative people with dark humor sometimes avoid openly admitting they care deeply about success because irony protects against failure. It's safer to look detached than fully invested. That is true. That's a big reason why this show, I define success as being able to help and entertain people. Because I said I don't want to care so much. You'll care a little bit, but I don't want to care so much about how many people are watching. As long as I'm putting on a good show for the ones that are. And I've said before, I'll keep doing this show if there's one person who's getting something out of it. So that was AI doing an examination of me. Have you guys seen this one? This is a Senate candidate in Maine the Democrats love calling Trump a Nazi, but yet they just they nominated a Nazi up in Maine. Maine Dem Senator hopeful Graham Plattner fundraises with Mandami-backed jeweler who bashed American flags as a symbol of aggression. So what you got to know about Graham Plattner is he literally had a Nazi symbol tattooed on him, and they've tried to deflect and come up with a bunch of different reasons why, but yeah, it's all BS. I'm gonna do this story and then I'm gonna end the show, guys. Lefty Maine Senate hopeful Graham Plattner trekked down the Big Apple last month for a fundraiser with Brooklyn-based jewelry design Alexis Bitar, who crafted luxury products for Lady Gaga, Michelle Obama, Dua Lipa, and other liberal celebs. The oyster farmer and self-styled ardent foe of the billionaire class attended the April 23rd fundraiser at Bitar's house to rub elbows with wealthy filmmakers, actors, other elite New Yorkers last month. Plattner's Big Apple visit came before his top Democratic primary rival, Maine Janet Mills, dropped out of the race, paving the way for an expected general election showdown with incumbent Susan Collins. Chilling with this guy who hopefully will be the next senator of Maine, a state I love dearly, Bitar posted on Instagram with a photo smiling of Plattner. But yet, Bitar claims to have spent 3 months of the year in Maine when he was a child and predicted that Plattner will go far in the progressive movement. The luxury brand guru hasn't been shy about weaving political or cultural messaging into his marketing strategies, such as the Bitterverse web series, which touched on transgenderism, racism, elitism, and other hot-button issues. Last year, Bitar helped release the Reclaim the Flag documentary, which he lamented that the Stars and Stripes turned into a symbol of aggression. Really? What about that tattoo? Was that a symbol of aggression? Was that Mr. Bitar? Was that are you saying the Nazi symbol is not a symbol of aggression? Because you're literally promoting a guy who had it tattooed and only got it covered up when it became politically a political liability. This isn't like he had it covered up years ago. No, he got it covered up like a year and a half ago when he decided to be political. So, I see your text, Ganu. Thank you. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that story. That one's. I've got so many more stories, but I am gonna save them for tomorrow and this weekend, because I need to get going. I got my class. So, thank you guys for being here, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies, eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies, eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive, big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking to lighten her load.
Hey there, Veteran Nation fans. I am talking to you today because I have teamed up with a company that's dedicated to supporting veterans. What they do is they help you gather all the medical evidence that you're going to need to submit a VA disability claim. Now, it's all that is designed to help you get the benefits that you have earned. Right now, more than 17 million veterans don't have their full benefits. And if that sounds something familiar either for yourself or a family member, now is the time to act. With this company, what they offer is free consultations with the medical team so they can figure out how they can best help you. And what they provide is board-certified doctors with experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical documentation for both physical and mental conditions, and the services that they provide include nexus letters, telehealth evaluations, DBQs, TDIU, aid and attendance, and so much more. What you're going to do is you're going to click the link that's in the description of this video and sign up for a free consultation. Make sure you do me a favor, share this, and also tag a veteran. Let's help more people get every single thing that they have earned.